All of my payments come out on the first of the month, pretty much. All the savings are put in where they're supposed to go. So basically what I'm left with is what I'm left with. And whatever is left at the end, I can throw it into a high interest savings or into my investment account. And I don't care if it's $50, it's still something.
Drnina, the girl next door, beautiful brown baby doll.
Hello, my fellow family who's out here pimping your grown-up. Welcome back to the channel where we sprinkle a little bit of magic on everyday life. Today, we're diving into the art of living below your means in 2025. But make it without us feeling like we're pinching pennies. Get ready to discover 7 clever strategies that'll have you living large on a budget, all while keeping our style and our sanity intact. And we love to learn from each other over here, so let me know some of the things you're doing as well. And check out my LTK shop and my Amazon storefront for items that can help you in your journey. So grab your favorite cup of tea, water, or wine and sit back, and let's get frugal while keeping it cute. The first thing is to understand your current situation. When we're thinking about financial independence, we need to think about us individually first. Not what your situation was or what you wish it was, but what it really is. Know what you got to work with. Not what these motivational speech people talking about either. Live how you want to be. You're gonna find yourself without a place to live. So the first thing is doing a deep dive into your income. All sources, including your primary job, side hustles, and investments. Consider your net income, which is after taxes and deductions. And with this, you can also dive into your expenses. I look at the past months to get an average of what I spend in a month. I look at this often to see where my money is going and where I can cut back. I did this big time when I was single because I grew up with a mother who was financially independent, and she taught me the same. So the main areas I looked at were these: housing, utilities, transportation, like your cars, or if you're taking subways or things, groceries and insurance, healthcare and more, internet and phone, entertainment, dining out, personal care, pet care, debt, and recurring subscriptions. And also in this, you have to consider your credit score. It's not just because the number is cute or whatever, but this helps you to know if you could qualify for better rates on loans, insurance, and even credit cards. Your debts also come to mind. Consider balances, interest rates, and monthly payments, and any assets like investments or retirement. And when you know these things, you can make better decisions about where your money is actually going, not where you think it is. Okay, now we can budget and set realistic goals. And I said realistic. So when I went off to school multiple times and had to do various things on my own, I had to learn about money going in versus money coming out. And it's important to understand this, especially for me. I didn't have people sending me money consistently. I had to really rely on myself. And in order to do that, budgeting is necessary. And I don't care how much money you making, you can still run out of money. So when I started budgeting, I did it very simply. And in fact, I have a copy of my free budget system linked down below for you in the description. After you've categorized all your expenses, I want you to divide them into necessities, wants, and savings. Necessities are housing, food, and utilities. I ain't say cable. Wants are entertainment and dining out. From there, it's important to think about percentages. I told y'all before, I like to live close to the 50-30-20 rule. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings. Or you can go 20% for wants and 30% for savings. And that 20% also includes any debt repayments. From there, you can set your realistic goals. Try to tie those goals to your budget. Whether you're trying to save for a down payment, pay off debt, or save for a vacation, look at your budget to actually determine the timeline for this. Let's say you want to save $5,000 for a down payment on a car, and you can allocate $250 a month after that for a car note. Don't expect to start shopping and balling out on a car in the next 18 months, unless, of course, you can pay up your monthly savings or reduce that down payment amount. And you don't want to spread yourself too thin here. Tackle 1 to 2 goals at a time so that you can actually see progress. With me and with most of my cars, I've always had an aggressive payoff plan. I've tried to pay them off within 3 years. And I know the faster I get done, the faster I can pay myself that monthly car note. Whatever extra you have, throw it at any bills that have interest. Plan for those what ifs, because baby, what ifs stay ifing. If you're too hardcore with all of these plans, one setback or an emergency can throw you all the way off track. So you want to keep in mind short and long-term aspirations. And getting a financial planner here can really help because they can help you put these things in categories and determine what's most important for you to focus on now. Another thing is I wait 72 hours before I buy something that I think is truly important, especially if it's a high-ticket item. If I can't remember after 72 hours, I don't need it. And like I said, I work hard to make extra payments on anything I get, like cars or other expenses, so that they're able to be erased and wiped off quickly. Now to live below your means and actually reduce your spending. Once you have a good picture of your situation and goals, it's time to plan for a new budget. Living below or within your means is spending less than you make each month. An example, you bring in $3,000 each month and you're left with $500 at the end of the month. Then, my friend, you're living below your means. At or above $3,000 or $2,700 spent, though, means you're living living above your means. You should have something to save if you can. And this won't be the same every month because of life changes. Like y'all, when I had little Hunter, even though we have great insurance, getting hit with some of those bills in that first month was like, woo, okay. Having babies is expensive, y'all. Don't be around her giving everybody your womb. You're gonna be stuck with that hospital bill. With the budget, you set goals for your spending. Build an emergency fund, pay off high interest debt, invest in the future, and take stock of anything that you're being overcharged for, like scams or frauds. The emergency fund is great for several months of living expenses in case of a job loss or major repairs, because they do happen. I told y'all we had a tree fall on our house this year, okay? Stuff happens. And once you pay off something, try to pay yourself that amount each month if you can. Let's say you got that $250 car note and it's about to be paid off. Yes, it's wonderful to be like, I'm about to ball out. Maybe treat yourself for a month or two. But after that, pay that money to a high yield savings so that you're able to build money. And I'm telling y'all, there's some great banks out here for it. U.S. banks, Regions Bank. Those are the ones that I know that are pretty solid for great savings plans. And scams and fraud happen all the time because they've happened to me. And that's where Aura comes in. And let me tell y'all a little bit more about them. Do you realize that while we're trying to get and keep our lives together, there's people out there that are literally trying to get our lives? Scams are at an all-time high. And because of this, I stay Googling myself to see what kind of information is out there. I'm often shocked to find information about old places that I've lived and other information that can be traced back to me. It makes me feel nervous and helpless knowing that people can use this stuff for sinister reasons. It can even expose me to unwanted calls, forwarded mail, and solicitation. And I hate spam calls. I feel like I stay deleting and blocking. I told y'all this, but my Facebook page was hacked and that scared me straight. I'm still dealing with it, and it made me realize just how vulnerable we are with our information out there. I mean, personal and private information is valuable to these people. This is all added up to let me know that it's important to find ways to protect our sensitive information. And thankfully, I'm able to feel more secure with Aura, and they are the sponsor of today's video. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points like the dark web and public court records to alert you about potential identity theft. They also provide up to $5 million in identity theft insurance in case the worst happens. Just a few months ago, National Public Data announced that they had suffered a major breach, potentially impacting every American. The incident compromised over 2.9 billion records used for background checks, including critical personal information such as full names, addresses, dates of birth, phone numbers, and most importantly, social security numbers. It's even been confirmed that members of the hacker group released this sensitive information online for free. If you haven't been taking your personal information online seriously, then now's the time to change that. You're more vulnerable than ever in today's digital landscape. Plus, Aura offers a variety of other features to keep you safe online, including real-time alerts from data breaches, a VPN for secure browsing, data broker opt-out to stop companies from selling your personal information, a password manager to help you store and create strong passwords, and more. I'm not going to leave myself and my family vulnerable to data breaches. And if you don't want to either, you can go to aura.com/drnina to try for 2 weeks for free. That will be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data is exposed. Y'all better hop on it. It's important to reduce high interest debt specifically. All debt gone is not always necessary. You'll hear people talking about all the time. You need to have all your debt wiped away. Now, in this world, sometimes you need debt in order to roll credit. So you definitely want to find smart ways of having debt. You don't want that high interest debt. Big debts hit us hardest, like big credit cards and other debts. There's ways to work on this though, like debt consolidation. This is where you consolidate using a loan or balance transfer, say for a 0% APR or annual percentage rate. And this is to pay down your debt over a promotional period. And I've even used this with home purchases when I knew that I could pay off the debt within the promotional period. So for instance, let's say you go to Lowe's or Home Depot or something like that, okay? And you need a refrigerator. You buy that thing for $2,000 and you know that they have a 0% APR because you qualify. Go ahead and use that. And if that's for 6 to 12 months, make sure that you can stack the cash and pay it off within that 6 to 12 months. Here's the thing, you'll have 0% financing or interest on that. So you're basically paying the money in order to get it without the interest. There's also accelerated payment strategies. It's where you tackle lowest balances or highest first and increase what you pay over time. So it's kind of like a snowball effect. As you free up more money, you can pay more on your debts. And there's also debt management plans. And this is where you get a credit counselor. This is where you combine monthly payments so you can reduce your interest and your payments over time. Now focus on that credit score. Now I know my good sis Glorilla said don't give no fuck about no credit score because I might just be rich tomorrow. Your credit still got the talk for you. It's not that you need credit perfection, but good credit helps to lower interest charges on loans, helps you to qualify for the best insurance rates, which are already highway robbery, and earn better rewards with the best credit cards. So yes, that credit score matters. This actually saves a lot of money over time. And there's so many ways to keep an eye on your credit score, like Experian or Credit Sesame or Credit Karma. There's many others as well. And sometimes your banks have that technology as well. I've also used this advantage with higher credit with purchases because it helps with purchasing power. One time when I was single, I was going to buy a higher dollar car and the people thought they was going to play me. They kept on coming back with these interest rates that were out the wazoo. I turned around and I said, I bet you Billy Bob, James, and Jim over there ain't getting the same quote as me and they probably ain't got as good a credit as me. So I'm gonna need y'all to run that to the back or I'm gonna run up out of here. I left with the APR and the car. Y'all pick up what I'm putting down. I don't play around about that because your credit does give you purchasing power. I don't care what nobody say. And looking at your full credit report instead of just the score can also help you to make plans for the future. So here's some of my suggestions. Don't take on what you don't have the money for or don't know you will have the money for. If you know that right now a car that can get you from point A to point B is a cash car, go ahead and run that cash instead of having to have that credit on a high ticket car. And anybody you stunting and fronting for, they ain't paying that note. Pay down those large credit card balances in larger sums. Get caught up with any past due payments or find ways for you to build up to that. And this one's tricky, but ask a loved one that you're close with to add you as an authorized user to a credit card account. Don't even get a card, but usually being on there, especially if you know they have good credit, as balances are paid down, your credit will go up. And there's programs like Experian Boost that help you get credit for even rent payments that are on time, utilities, phone payments, and much more. Things that you're gonna have to pay anyway. Apply for credit only when you need it, because certain things you apply for can add strikes to your credit, which lower your score. And try to pay off those credit cards in full each month, unless you have a 0% promotional APR for a certain amount of time. Invest in your future and plan to increase that income. Now, I know this is easier said than done. You can't just walk out and expect for anybody to give you money. No, I'm not saying that. But investment strategies in your future can be simple. So for instance, I started early when I became a professor, so I was pretty much forced to. Some employee sponsor programs are great, or the 401k, and some will even match what you pay yearly. This is automatically debited from your checks every month so you don't miss the money. I mean, you might miss it, but... And if your employer matches your contribution up to a certain point, saving enough each month to get the full match essentially gives you 100% return on your investment. That's what you want. You can even think about individual retirement accounts, brokerage accounts, or even real estate. I also use tech to automatically save before I can spend. All of my payments come out on the first of the month, pretty much. All the savings are put in where they're supposed to go. Any insurance policies are paid up and everything else comes out at once. So basically what I'm left with is what I'm left with. And whatever is left at the end, I can throw it into a high interest savings or into my investment account. And I don't care if it's $50, it's still something. I do know that increasing your income is easier said than done. Cutting expenses is great, but when the income is low, one thing that could set you up even faster is getting another way to make money. So here are some ways I suggest. Asking for a pay raise, but don't just go in there asking, especially if you know your work ain't been up to par. Come with the facts and the outcomes of your work. Take documentation, know what the requirements of your job are, show how you're maybe exceeding or excelling above that if you are, and show them how valuable that is in this work market. Take on overtime if you can and if it's offered. Switch jobs and don't be tied to just one option. Improve on your skills and have more ways to pivot or contract out your work. And start a side hustle. I see people on Fiverr doing everything. I go to Fiverr for everything. People do this through rideshare and food deliveries, tutoring, which I've done, selling services online, renting out your car or a portion of your living space. But watch Choice TV before you do, because he be talking about some stuff over there, baby dad. Know who you're renting to. Or try freelancing in areas that you have a specialty in. People are always looking for fix-it people to help them hang pictures. I mean, y'all, I've hired people offline for a multitude of things. And while you're doing all these wonderful things, do a regular assessment of your plan and make changes where they're needed. As those life circumstances change, periodically do a review of your budget. Make changes where it's needed. And I try to evaluate 2 times a year as things change. Think of these things while you're doing that. Make sure your spending still aligns with your goals. Review your progress with each of those goals and make adjustments where you need to. If your income has increased, consider how you're using the extra cash. Check your emergency fund to determine if it's sufficient. That's to meet any potential threats to your financial security. And analyze any of your investment portfolios. And this helps you to determine if you're still on the right track. Y'all, I hope today's video has been beneficial. I know in the new year, we are looking at a lot of things changing challenging. A lot of things are going awry. Need I say more? I want us to find a little bit of security wherever we are. You don't have to be balling out. You don't have to have the best car. You don't have to have the best house. None of that. You just need to be able to live, have some security, and get the things you need and then some of the things you want. Make sure that you comment, share this video with someone who can use it, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. Beautiful brown baby doll. Peace.